It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports.
Let's go, Dolphins.
Here we go. Here we go.
Go to work.
Here we go. We make 626.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. It's Christian Covington who notches the sack there.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The catches like that, that's what the Dolphins envisioned when they took Gesicki high in the 2nd round a season ago. He did have 22 catches as a rookie, but did not find the end zone. Certainly feels more comfortable wearing number 88, his old college number, after sporting 86 as a rookie. It's complete to Grant. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. Hey, yeah.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I told you to hit it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9.
How about the heel?
And again, it's Rodgers. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
He gave up that right. 50-50 only when they both scored.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Throw left side complete. It's Grant. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. This is Kenyon Drake, the 4th-year man from Alabama. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At that 18-yard line. 319. Watch the script. 88. Hey, look, 48. Go. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. 48. Hey,
working from the gun, Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. On 1st and goal, Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Kill.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now Prescott.
Give me that.
Ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. Cooper was the target there. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down now, it's Drake. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Exit.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. It's complete to Parker left side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
26.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down. From the shotgun again to Elliott. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. For Zeke, one of first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. 3rd and short yardage, Prescott. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
I gotta make a move. Right.
Watch the run. Cat 300. Cat 300. Hey, check 26. X3. 218. Chopper.
On 1st down, Drake. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Over. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. 48. Hey, you don't like the 48, right? Jim. Come on, QB, come on. Hey, Delta. Back one.
From the 44, Rodgers, and it's caught over the middle. Wilson, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And he hits Drake. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. They'll run on 1st down. Drake, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Defensive end, DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Shotgun now for Rodgers. They're able to locate Wilson. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami 1st. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be caught, but out above the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And now it's second down.
Green 18. Jump out. Hey, my 7.
To throw again. Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant. And that'll make it third down. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
But last week was what's commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Yo, this nigga caught a one-handed tip. I didn't see that yet.
On first down, it's Drake. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers getting together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. Now Drake. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. We're going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Hold on.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full street. Check 24, check 24. Hey, kill. 47.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. Dancing to his left. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Prescott now. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 14. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Prescott. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good hit.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are able to cut into that lead. That's a score you felt they had to have. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. So trying to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Right back to Drake. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Rodgers operating from the gun. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now it's Rodgers. And throw right side complete to Parker. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher. Guys trying
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Last year, Dak Prescott had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's in search of another one right now. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd and long. At the 27-yard line.
Single.
Now Prescott. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he can be a big-time playmaker for us.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. We're going to 54.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there of 22. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Strong right. We got 4. Switch. We're going to 53. Alert 3. Let's go. Hey, kill.
They'll throw again. Prescott. He'll let it fly for Austin. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. They'll start the drive with Drake. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
I'm taking that first, buddy.
Running,
I ain't mad at you. Like, they can keep like a motherfucker
close
sometimes.
to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Austin. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think I wasn't a quarterback.
That wasn't already playing?
Oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw forward.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Prescott now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. To the air again, Prescott. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Count. 27. Watch the twitch. Hey, count. 26.
Prescott yet again. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Elliott. Well, using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions. And you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his second year. But he's really on the uptick. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And again, it's Prescott. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack.
Man, boom, ass. Kick his ass, dog. That just don't work for so long. Stack the box. Oh, you know you're going to go to Hollywood. Keep somebody over.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Anybody with speed, love it.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Prescott on 4th down. He's going to find his man. That's Tavon Austin. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Yo, you playing man-to-man on covering the outside shade. Sitting that stop out. Or I got bump and run. keep throwing outs and playing man-to-man outside street.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his second touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
He's throwing out. I'm playing man-to-man outside street. But he's still catching it, so I guess I got to press.
Here in this fourth quarter.
Okay.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that third timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go,
look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
They'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Now Elliott. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They come out here in the eye. Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. They'll try again with Elliott, and he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Cowboys have taken the lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good, and that will make this a 4-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution.
No. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Bring that in.
Rodgers to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And will be incomplete. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
Hey, Oregon. Minus 50, minus 50. Check.
Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. That's to his running back, complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it would appear the Cowboys are going to win this football game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the out, watch the out.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they take a knee. These Cowboys looking good here at AT&T Stadium. Of course, they were really good in this building last year. 7-1 in their 8 games played at home. The only loss was on a Monday night to Tennessee. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Oh, what's up?
The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Oh, Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen. In the middle.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for the Cowboys, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.